the Kumano Kodo is an ancient network of pilgrimage trails that wind across the mountainous and remote Kii Peninsula. These routes have been used for over 1,000 years to connect pilgrims to the area's sacred sites. At the center are the 3 Kumano shrines. Today, the Nakahechi Trail is the most well-preserved and popular route. At around 70 kilometers in length, it usually takes 4 to 5 full days of hiking to complete. However, buses also run throughout the area, allowing hikers to skip some sections. We only had 3 days up our sleeves, so our plan was to do exactly that. Take advantage of the buses and see some of the highlights of this spectacular region. Things didn't quite go to plan though, with some injuries along the way. But we did meet wonderful locals and hike amongst some beautiful, moody scenery.
Finally, we're here on the Kumano Kodo, the start of the trail. I can't believe we're actually here. We've been living in Japan for over 5 years now, and it has been on our to-do list for so long. It almost doesn't feel real, but man, like just getting started, it's really living up to the expectations so far. But besides the start, I'm actually more excited for the finish. Like, I've seen all the pictures online of like what this place can be, and I tell you what, I'm excited. I really hope it like lives up to it in real life.
So here I have maps, and now that we're at a rest stop, I wanted to let you know about our route a little bit more. And these maps, just fabulous. There is an English website online with so many English resources, and we just printed these out. So let me show you the route. So the Nakahechi is divided into around 6 to 7 different sections, and each one you can do at least in a day. And we are doing a 3-day trek. So we are only actually going to be doing this pink area on day 1, and then on day 2, we're just going to take it easy and hang around the Kumano Hongu Taisha area and just see the sights there. Oh my gosh, this is supposed to be day 1. And then on day 3, we're actually skipping this section in the middle, and we're catching a bus down to Koguchi. And then we're going to do this last section for the 3rd day and end at the beautiful Nachi Taisha, where there is the Nachi Falls. So that is our plan for this trek. And as you can see over on this side, the maps are amazing because they also include all of this information on the elevation. So we are doing this pink area for today. And as you can see, we started here. We didn't actually start all the way at the start. And we have already done an up and a down, and then we've come here to the rest stop. And then we will finish with this yellow section as well and get to our guest house.
And well, we didn't see it until now, but there's like a little stamp rally going on. So we're going to make these maps into dual purpose, and we're just going to collect some stamps as well. And this stamp here has the characters for Sekai-san Kumano Kodo, which is World Heritage. We learnt those ones just yesterday because we came here. When I've always imagined Kumano Kodo, I've always imagined this, you know, this gorgeous valley, green, luscious bush, and then walking through these big kind of pines and like narrow trails through the forest. It's gorgeous. It really is already just living up to everything, and there's still so much more to come.
We just stopped at Mikoshi-toge Pass rest stop behind me. Basically, this is the second pass on this route, and it means that pretty much from now on we'll be going downhill most of the way. Also, I highly recommend using the toilets here at this rest stop, because at the previous one where I showed you the route for today, well, it was Japanese style toilets, which is not that bad, but there was a big poo on top. It was terrible. So, I would choose these ones instead, which are Western style.
These settlements are actually really cool because there's actually a lot remaining for you to be able to actually kind of piece it together in your mind, right? I could imagine, well, you could literally see the remains of a house here, just along the trail. And then, I don't know if you can see just up there, there would be another place on top. I think that would actually make a spectacular view, like coming through this forest trail and then seeing like a house there and a house up there. That would have been really like cute, right?
Yeah, there's heaps of these settlements along the trail already that we've seen. Some of them have been, well, were here for 1,000 years, and there has been documentation from like people traveling through with the imperial household, traveling through these settlements, and that's why they knew they were here. Or this one is a bit more recent, and I think it was only in the 1970s it was completely abandoned. So we have gone almost halfway now, 8 kilometers. We've got 9 to go. We're stopped at this nice rest stop just to take a break. Roy's sleeping next to me. And my legs are starting to hurt just a little. How about yours?
Well, even pilgrims back in the day needed ice creams. So we're about 10 kilometers in to this total 17 kilometers journey. And just, you know, in case anyone was getting the wrong idea, my legs hurt. Like even after the break, like they really hurt already.
I don't think anyone was getting the wrong idea. Like every hiking video ever, I think that you've complained and talked about how much it hurts, so don't worry.
Today is the worst day of my life. I want to go home. But she promised me so much downhill. She's like, bro, it's like all downhill. It's just bullshit. I feel ripped off. I want my time back.
This boy is done, and I don't blame him.
I'm just trying to show the real side.
But I think, don't worry, because we've got beautiful rivers coming up, we've got the world's largest torii gate, we've got the main shrine area, Hongu Taisha, so no worries.
So hopefully the good views should distract me from the pain.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Alrighty, well, we'll see how that goes.
We just stopped very quickly at another rest stop. This one was really, really nice. Had hot coffee, iced coffee, some drinks, and now we are going up these stairs because we're going to get our first look at Hongu Taisha and, the big torii gate. And I told Roy to go up here, but I didn't tell him why.
For the view?
For the view.
The view, right? Yeah, it's nice.
And
what?
I think you're supposed to, maybe no. Maybe this is the wrong one.
What?
Well, on the map it says you're supposed to be able to see your first view of the torii gate.
It?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Hmm?
Do you see it?
No.
Oh no, hold this. Let me get the map out. Ah, I swear that's what it said. Yeah, look. It says, viewpoint of Oyunohara, not to miss. Oh, I think it means just of the river and that area, not the torii gate. God damn it. All right, well, yeah, we can see down into the area where we're going.
I mean, the mountain's nice. Like
It's beautiful.
a nice wall back there.
What I was expecting was I was like, walk up those stairs, and I thought you were going to walk up here, and then you're going to get to the top and be like, wow, it's Kumano Falls, the torii gate. All right, 3.5 Ks to go. Let's do it.
Oh God, kill me.
We must be able to see it.
Yeah.
Everyone's taking pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, this better be good. That's
Oh,
nice.
that's nice. That bench is nice.
Nice.
Did you say that's the biggest in Japan?
I believe so. I mean, it looks small from up here because we're so high up still.
But it looks like there's only like one tree big. I reckon the scale is going to be completely different down the bottom.
Once you're standing in front of it, I think so. So rude to Japan's biggest torii gate.
I mean, it's being sized up against mountains, bro. Like, what do you expect? I mean, it's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah. Here is a big boy, and there's another big boy. Wow.
Feel slightly offended.
Sorry. So now that we're actually down at the bottom, tell us your thoughts.
Well, I can't say I've seen a bigger one, can I?
No.
But yeah, it's big. It's impressive. Although we overheard someone saying, why isn't it red like the other ones? And you know, that's a great question. I think we'll have to look into that one. But no, it's certainly impressive. I love how it's just in the middle of this kind of plain where it's surrounded by mountains. It really just juts out. It's like
And
quite
we've got
stunning.
perfect weather.
Yeah.
And we didn't really stop in at the shrine because we thought we might do that tomorrow because, we just made a beeline straight for the accommodation.
I couldn't have gone to the shrine. I'm barely standing right now, to be honest. I'm about to collapse in a heap and then Amy's just gonna have to drag me back to the accommodation.
We'll show you the accommodation later, but the owner, her name is Mandy-san. She's the sweetest Japanese lady. Oh my God. She's gonna take us to the onsen later. She's gonna cook us shabu-shabu dinner later. Looking forward to that.
Our guest house is just a 10-minute walk from the big torii gate and Hongu Taisha shrine. The host, Mandy-san, is so hospitable. On top of shuttling us to a nearby onsen and cooking a fantastic dinner, her guest house also has a washing machine, so we could get some clothes washed. We booked about 1 month in advance on booking.com, but a lot of accommodation along the Kumano Kodo can be booked on the official community reservation site. And while we didn't use it, there's also luggage delivery services on the same site.
We weren't lying with how much we said we were in pain during the day. The pain has not subsided.
Anyways, we had a lovely night in our guest house.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I'm sorry I didn't film any of the guest house. Maybe tomorrow morning because I was just so tired when we just got here. And then we went to the onsen, we had dinner, we had a little bit of sake.
So tired.
It was great. Now it's time to go to bed.
So tired.
Do you have any final thoughts for the first day?
Yeah, I do. And they're awful thoughts, but
Maybe we should ask you on the night of just after doing it.
trauma. My initial thought is that we got to the halfway point.
Yeah.
Where we did the section that was highlighted. There was 2 sections we did, colour sections.
Pink and yellow.
Pink and yellow. The pink, didn't need to do it, in my opinion. Not worth it. If you're coming and you've got like kids, or it obviously depends on your situation. Unless you're a hardcore seasoned hiker and you are way more fitter than your average 30-year-old, cut the pink. Just do the last 7 hours, and that's more
7 hours, 7 kilometers.
7 kilometers, pardon me.
Which is like 3 hours.
The last half was genuinely much more nicer. Not only was it nice length, it was just like nice views, a little bit of forest, a little bit of like Japanese cute, really cute like village.
Yeah, it was much more varied, I would say. And it is possible to do that. I think I said at the start of the day, there was the full hike, 25 kilometers that we could have done. We shortened it to 17, which was considered the intermediate hike. And then this 7 kilometer one, which is like the last bit, is called the highlight hike. And I mean, it's true, you see the highlights and you can catch a bus to the start of it and then walk down so that you finish in the main area around Hongu Taisha Shrine. So, all right then, good night.
Good night.
All right, let me explain some of our route for today. So the area around Kumano Hongu Taisha actually has a lot going on. So we didn't want to just keep hiking on and miss seeing everything in this area. So you have the main shrine, Hongu Taisha, but then there are also 3 really interesting onsen area. You have Kawayu, Yunomine, and then in here is Watadasu Onsen, which is where we went for an onsen last night. So the plan is we came and hiked in this way last night, stayed at the guest house, and then the plan is that we are going to walk over to Kawayu Onsen and then keep going to Yunomine Onsen and then get this hiking trail back over to where the guest house is in Kumano Hongu Taisha. And finally stop in and see the shrine properly, because yesterday we just kind of looked at it and kept on walking because we were so tired. Now, we were going to walk all of this, which would take a few hours and is around 6 to 7 kilometers, but actually our host here at the guest house, Mandy-san, said, no, I can drive you to some of it, which is kind of amazing because honestly our feet hurt. So we're actually going to Kawayu and Yunomine by car, and then we'll just walk back over this route back to the Kumano Hongu Taisha area.
As we got ready to head out for the day, in an unexpected twist, Mandy-san offered to introduce us to a Kumano local. Nakahechi-san was an English teacher in the area before becoming a Kumano Kodo guide. Now, he loves to chat to international tourists and interviews them for his Instagram. He also interviewed us, and then we got to hear his story.
I was born here in Kumano area, and I grew up here and I worked here. And I am now 83 years old. 5 years ago, I got stroke, but I recovered, and I became an Instagram creator. Every day, I got wonderful interview videos from the foreign visitors, and I recorded it, posted it, and at night, I watched those videos many, many times and mimic it, repeat it, and learn it by heart. That's the way how I learn English.
Nakahechi-san often chats with foreign tourists on the road leading up to Hongu Taisha Shrine. This road became particularly significant for him after he had a stroke.
Went into the hospital for 3 months. And I came back here, but I couldn't walk anymore. I began a toddler's walk, and my right hand paralysis. But for 1 year, came out here from my house and rehabilitated walking for 50 meters flat zones. And from Hongu Taisha's back gate, 200 meters up and down for 3 years, just only using sticks and rehabilitated by myself.
Getting to hear Nakagishi-san's story was a privilege, but on top of that, he also taught us more about the Kumano Kodo, including the significance of Hayatama Shrine, which sits just before the entrance to Hongu Taisha.
1,200 years ago, from the capital, Kyoto, the noblest emperors followed many people and walked down here 350 kilometers for a month walking. Here, the Hayatama Shrine. Here, take off the dirt during the trip for a month and purify their mind before entering Hongu Taisha. That's all.
Perfect, thank you.
If you don't mind me saying, it is hot as fuck. But we are at Kawayu Onsen, and as you can see, we're next to a kawa, exactly as the name suggests. We're next to a river, and it's just dotted with all these kind of onsens, right? And where we are right now is a foot bath, which is right next to the river, and it's so hot I can barely get my feet in. Amy is cheating. She's only got her heels in. But this particular one, Mandi-san, the owner of the Sora guest house that we've been staying at, she was telling us that people can somehow fit their entire body in this. I don't know how, because it's pretty shallow.
At the moment, there's not much water, but maybe there's something going on. I think maybe there's usually more water, because behind you, you can see a line where it probably goes up to.
Right, okay. Oh, you make a good point. Yes.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely moody, isn't it? Look at this setting behind me. The rain's kind of dripping. These onsen towns, I think it's a great place to come, even on a rainy day, because it just creates this atmosphere where you can walk around. It's just absolutely gorgeous, truly.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to point out another interesting thing about Kawayu Onsen is you can actually get in the river itself, and there's hot spring water bubbling up on the sides. You're really struggling there, aren't you?
I don't know how you have your feet in.
I'm just stronger.
Yeah.
So the famous bath in Yunomine Onsen area is called Tsuboyu, and it is, as I say, very well known, very famous, because it's considered to be one of the oldest in all of Japan, and it is also the only World Heritage listed onsen in Japan, because it dates back at least 1,000 years. And so because of that, lots of people come here to bathe in it, and it is very old and very small, so only 1 to 2 people can fit in it. And because of all of this, it can have long waiting times. So at the moment it has a 2-hour waiting time.
Yeah.
And we thought we're probably fine just to look at it from the outside and not go inside. So instead, where we are now is like the public onsen right next door, and we're going to go in here. And you can actually, though, get private baths as well. So that's what we're going to do. We can get one for 30 minutes, and we're just waiting for it to become free. And I think we're going to have a really nice onsen.
Yeah, it'll be really nice to warm up like on this kind of cold, rainy day. I feel like I've gotten a little bit soaked, but
yeah. And then,
yeah, you go. Oh, I was gonna say like a small nuanced take is probably like it's really visually striking from outside the Tsuboyu, but like I guess when you're inside, you don't actually get a view of everything outside.
That's true.
It's just kind of like a box with hot water in it. So, I don't know.
It's supposed to be very, has a lot of legends surrounding it, this onsen. So for example, one of them is that there was a military general hundreds of years ago who came through here on the Kumano Kodo, and he was really sick, but he went into this onsen and he came out and he was cured.
Wow. Magic. Okay,
Magic.
well, you know, it's not just a box with water in it, it's a magic box. A box with magic water
This
in it.
legend has it.
こんな感じですね。Wow. Nice. This is going to warm the soul. でしょ?
Yeah, I'm excited.
We bought the tamago and we're gonna pop them in here, like so.
I think we tie it on here. Kana?
Tie it on.
Oh, no, on the pegs on the bottom. Here, hold this. Sorry.
Oh, good. I was about to say, where's our like white rope that everyone's using, but it's attached to the bag?
How long?
I think it said 11 minutes.
Oh, okay. Ugh.
Hey Siri, 10分のタイムをつけて. And now we wait.
For our 5 eggs that we're going to eat all of them.
Alrighty, let's pull these bad boys up. We nearly lost them. Woo! What do you reckon? None of them are cracked, that's good. I hope they're done.
Alrighty, I have got my onsen egg and they give you some salt to pop on it, so I'm going to do that. And I really like the taste of onsen egg and just eggs generally, so I'm really hoping this is a good one. Oh, there's a lot of salt. It just tastes like an egg actually. A good egg, I'm not mad about it because I love eggs and we cooked it pretty well. But yeah, just an egg.
Man, we really needed to stop for a lunch break. And this is the little bento box, a packed lunch that the owner of the guest house made for us. It's so cute, it's all like homemade. We've got like 2 types of onigiri, pancakes, bananas, nuts, eggs. Fantastic, I am so ready to chow down. So the second day, we're feeling pretty sore and we're taking it quite slow. I'm glad we're doing that. And it's raining, but it's really not bothering us too much because we're going slow. It's like really nice to just take it in. We're like going through this forest, we're alone. It's foggy, it's moody, it's peaceful. I think it really kind of encapsulates that Kumano Kodo kind of essence that I always thought it was going to be in my head. It's really nice.
We arrived back at Hongu Taisha, and this is where our day ended. While we had hoped to visit the Grand Shrine properly one more time, we ended up being so tired and battered, which we'll explain more about tomorrow, that we just called it a day there. So, see you on day 3.
Good morning, it is day 3 and as you can see we are in the van and we are not wearing hiking clothes and we'll explain why in a little moment. But first I thought maybe we should just give our wrap up, our impressions of yesterday. And basically what I really wanted to say was Yunomine Onsen was a highlight for me. I really, really loved it. I think, it is small, it's on the smaller side, but it was such a beautiful onsen town. The vibes, for lack of a better word, were so good. And I think if you stayed in a Japanese inn there overnight, it'd just be a wonderful experience.
I mean, it was just incredibly atmospheric, but I would definitely say if you're kind of here and doing the Kumano Kodo and stuff like that, it would probably be a good idea to actually set aside some dedicated time to actually explore like the Hongu, Taisha area and like the 3 onsens around there. It's probably just not feasible or like maybe a good idea to actually try and just pass through and do them as you're passing through. It deserves the dedicated time, in my opinion.
Yes, I was very glad that we spent a whole day in that area. And so on to day 3. Today, we were supposed to be hiking the last section down to Nachi Taisha and Nachi Falls, but a change of plans. Basically, we're not doing the hike anymore, and there are 2 reasons for that. Number 1, it was going to be a very tight hike anyways in terms of the timing of things. It's estimated that it will take around 7 to 9 hours, and yeah, it was just going to be very tight. And then on top of that, and probably the main reason, is that, well, my left knee is giving me quite a bit of grief actually, and Roy also has shin splints.
Yeah, my shin splints. I don't know if you can see, I've got them all bandaged up with like, I don't know, what do you call these things?
You can get these like pads in Japan which are medicinal, and you put them wherever you have soreness, and it has this wonderful cooling effect.
It feels great now, but honestly without them I can't walk. I look like an old man hobbling along.
Yeah, I have never had any issues with my knees before hiking, but at the end of the first day, I could feel one of my knees was really starting to like have some pain in it. And then by the end of yesterday, when we just did that short 3 to 4 kilometer walk, I was limping. Like it's fine when I'm just sitting down, but when I put any pressure on my knee, my kneecap has a lot of pain around it. So just,
You just got to respect your own limits, and just...
Yeah, I think it would be silly to keep putting pressure on our on our bodies that are falling apart.
But it's not over.
No, it's not over. So we actually came down to the Kumano area by our camper van from our home up in Nagano, and we've just had the van parked off, in a place while we catch the bus to the trailhead and whatnot. So we've retrieved the van. That's where we are now. And instead of hiking to these different places, what we're going to do is go around in the van instead. So we are going to do the last of the 2 grand shrines in the Kumano area. We're going to do Nachi Taisha, and we're going to do Hayatama Taisha. Hayatama we'll do first, and then we will end with the waterfall and the pagoda with Nachi Taisha. And if you also wanted to skip the hike at the end and just do this by public transport, you can. You can actually catch a bus from Hongu Taisha all the way down to the town of Shingu, where we are now. You can get the bus directly to Hayatama Taisha, or you could also get a bus or a train and an extra bus over to Nachi Taisha. So this is all doable by public transport as well. It would just take a bit longer than if you had your own car. So let's go do that.
Yeah, it's a good day. Let's go enjoy it.
We just finished up at Kumano Hayatama Taisha, and just about a 15 to 20 minute walk down the road is this spot, and it is Gotobiki Iwa, or rock, which is halfway up this mountain. And its significance is it's said that from this rock is where the Kumano deities descended. So it is a sacred rock, and we're going to go up and see it. Is this a terrible idea? Potentially, because it's a 15-minute walk, I believe, up to the top. It's actually the down that is hard on our knees and legs though, but let's go and see.
So this is kind of interesting actually. We have been seeing so many signs about snakes recently,
And usually, you know, we've been here for 5 years and we've barely seen any snakes the whole time, except while we've been here, we've already seen 2 snakes and like 1 trillion signs. So maybe that's just a warning to everyone. There actually is maybe a high likelihood you might run into a snake, so just be prepared about that.
So I'm just taking it nice and slow up the stairs. We got some sticks that they have in a box at the entrance. So I'm using that to kind of take a lot of the pressure off of my knee. And so far it's okay. But I think that probably for my knee, it was definitely so much down and just repetitive impact on the 17 kilometers on the first day. And perhaps I do have hiking poles, but I didn't bring them. Probably using hiking poles all the time would be a good way to take some pressure off my knees. So yeah, I think we're halfway. It's beautiful, isn't it?
That's incredible.
This was well worth the
That was-
15-minute climb. You can see this whole city.
Honestly, I gotta say, this entire trip, this has actually been my favorite activity. It's kind of just felt like just the perfect medium of like side quests, and then there's just this perfect, amazing treasure at the end of it. So good, that was so worth it.
Is it gonna be worth it at the end?
After going down?
After going down.
I don't know, maybe I'll need to take some painkillers. Would you believe it? There's more stairs. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's what we signed ourselves up for, but
I think that the pagoda with the waterfall is not too far away. Dun 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 dun! It's a pagoda. It's a waterfall. We've made it.
And I guess the camera doesn't really capture it, but just the entire 360 panorama is like actually incredible. It's not just like the pagoda and the waterfall. You can see like the ocean, and there's like beautiful gardens and like even more like maybe lodging by the looks of it. This is a great place.
We've got to go up to the photography spot and
Yeah.
really marvel at this viewpoint.
Go get that classic shot. Let's go. And just a little bit further up the mountain from the actual main pagoda, there's like a temple and a shrine behind us. And it's pretty unique in this area because traditionally temples and shrines are coming from 2 different religions. But here in this complex, they've existed together in one unit.
Well, I think that this is the perfect way to end our time in the Kumano area. The falls, the pagoda, it's beautiful. Pretty much so many other people think so too, because this has definitely been the busiest of the places that we've been in the Kumano area. And you know, it would have been better, probably, a better sense of accomplishment if we hiked into it, but you know, it's still beautiful nonetheless, especially in this afternoon light. So thank you so much for watching, and do let us know if you have any questions about the Kumano Kodo, or if you're planning to do it yourself, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.